You know, most people wash their car more often than any other exterior maintenance that they do. And they think when they wash it, they get it clean. But there are some contaminants that are actually invisible to the eye.
That's absolutely right. You know, Mike, we've talked for years about claying your car to get rid of those bonded contaminants. Right? The car looks clean, but there's that stuff that sticks to the paint and it doesn't really come off when you wash the car. And to this day, we still get people calling us up saying, hey man, I finally bought a clay bar kit and that thing's amazing. And it's usually like, well, welcome to 1985, because that's been around for a long, long time. But one of the toughest parts of claying your car is getting rid of iron deposits. And you wonder, well, where am I getting iron deposits from? Right? Well, you ever drive your car in traffic?
Yeah.
You know, I live outside LA, so I drive in a lot of traffic. Everybody, well, just about everybody, unless you're driving a supercar with carbon ceramic brakes, everybody's got steel brake rotors.
Yep.
And that's all, every time you apply the brakes, you're wearing those things down and you're kicking that stuff into the air. It's got to land someplace.
That's right. And there's also a lot of iron contamination in the water, both city water and well water. So, Mike, Meguiars has a product out that can eliminate this product. What's it called?
This is our D1801 Wheel and Paint Iron Decon.
Okay.
It's got a nice long name to it, but that's because it does more than just clean your wheels, and it actually does more than just remove the iron deposits. It has that wonderful chemical in it that reacts with iron and turns purple as it's breaking that stuff down and removing the iron deposits, but it's got other chemistry in it as well that helps to remove some road grime and road film and whatnot. So it's fantastic as a wheel cleaner. It's great to decontaminate the entire body of the car because, like we just said, you're driving down the road, all that stuff's airborne, it lands on every square inch of your vehicle. So that all needs to come off. It's not a substitute for a clay bar process, okay? But what it will do is speed up that process and get rid of especially the iron contaminants and other road film from all the surfaces, because that does land on the headlights, plastic grille, vinyl, glass, everything. It gets everywhere, so you need to get it off everywhere.
Well, I think one of the key things that we're going to do in this video is we got a white car here, and that because this actually works for the best demonstration because of the color changing effect as it kind of dissolves and attacks all the contamination that's on the paint. There's a color changing effect so you can see it, but it's important to know that this is going to take place on any color car, and if your car is a daily driver, it's being bombarded every single day by the industrial pollution in the air, like you were saying, the fine metallic particles that are in traffic pollution, especially if you live in a place of high density traffic, and then also the contaminants that are in the water. And there's more contaminants in water than just the iron. In fact, that's why I think a lot of us drink bottled water nowadays.
Yeah, it's a little frightening when you stop and think about it.
If you look at a report of what's in the water. Now, besides removing all the, what we call a wide spectrum of industrial pollution and the iron off the car, what this is going to do is going to stop anything that's corrosive that's taking place to the paint. So if you really want to get your car clean, that would involve something like this: washing the car, doing a chemical decontamination, and then mechanically decontaminated it. And then after that, you'd be ready to do whatever your normal detailing routine would be, whether it's just putting a wax on or a paint coating, something like that.
Yeah, you know, your wax is going to last longer and be easier to apply if you get all those bonded contaminants off, because nobody makes a wax for dirt, right? No. If you don't get all that stuff off your paint, you're basically trying to wax dirt, and that just really doesn't work. And if you need to get in and machine polish, machine compound to get rid of swirls and other below surface defects, to get all of the above surface junk gone first makes that compounding process that much faster, easier, and more effective overall.
Well, here's a question for you, and I know that you work closely with the chemists there at Meguiars. Is this safe for everything on the outside of the car? What about the glass? Or a lot of cars have plastic trim.
Absolutely. It is perfectly safe on all of those materials. If you've got an aftermarket big brake kit, you got Brembo, StopTex, whatever, it's going to be perfectly safe on all of that. In fact, kind of an interesting little story. We were going to do a demo with this product when I was in Vietnam last year, and we asked the guys to we picked out an SUV, had them bring it into the bay so that we could do the demo. And we talk about the product, we go out to do the demo, the car's spotless. I said, what did you guys do? They said, well, we cleaned the car for you. I said, well, no, we were going to do a demo. So I wanted to grab another vehicle that had black wheels. It was a BMW, and somebody said, well, you're never going to see this on black wheels. To your point, we're using a white car to see that purple color change, right? So I said, oh no, you'll see it. And I wiped my hand on the black wheels, and it just was, and I sprayed my hand down. And I had the purple running down off my arm. That's how safe the product is.
That's a good demo.
It's pH neutral. It's pH neutral. Okay. It has that smell that's associated with the chemical that's not the most pleasant thing in the world, but you know, it is pH neutral, So it's not going to cause any problems. If I can have it running down my arm with no problem, anything on your car is
what's
fine.
the normal application process for a car? So if someone buys this, they want to go out on Saturday morning and they want to detail their car, what would be the correct order to use this product?
If your car's not filthy, if you haven't been off-road mudding with the thing so you don't have caked on dirt, ideally you want to spray this onto a dry car. Okay. You don't want to dilute it. It's ready to use right out of the bottle. Okay. We do have a secondary OSHA compliant bottle that's designed for it. Yeah, it's very important, especially if you're a professional detailer, to your point, because OSHA's cracking down more and more on generic bottles in shops. But ideally, you want to just spray this down on a dry car if you really need to wash the car first. Yeah. If there's a lot of like caked on dirt, and I mean really heavy caked on dirt, maybe come down and just pressure wash it first, and then come through with a blow dryer of some sort just to knock off most of the moisture. And then just spray the car down with this, spray the wheels. You can let it dwell for a few minutes. It's in kind of a quasi-gel type formulation, so it'll cling really well on vertical surfaces, your wheels especially, rather than just run off. So it'll cling and do its job. And it can sit on there for several minutes. Now we've gone 4 or 5 minutes. If it starts to dry up, you can just spray some fresh on there. It's not
gonna hurt
really a problem. No, not a problem at all.
So one of the things I've always noticed about products like this is if you just spray it onto a dry car, the dirt film that's already there kind of holds it onto the paint so it can do its thing. If you rinse the car off first and now the car's wet and sprayed on, usually what happens is that'll break the surface tension and then it kind of runs off onto the ground. Now you're cleaning the ground. So a dry car, if it's not too dirty,
dry car is optimum, yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
that's ideal.
So we spray this down. Now what if we see that color changing effect? What do we do? Freak out?
No, don't freak out. You should know that the product's doing its job and that, unfortunately, your car really needed that kind of cleaning because it was really contaminated. And you may think that you were doing a really good job taking care of your car. And of course, the amount of color change you get is going to be dictated by how much iron is present. If you've got a modern supercar that has carbon ceramic brakes, it's carbon ceramic. There's no iron there for it to react with, so don't expect it to turn purple then. Okay.
Now, what if you don't see any color changing effect at all?
If you don't see any color changing effect at all, there's no presence of iron.
That's actually a good thing then.
Well, yeah, that means you've been maintaining the car or it's brand new and it was maintained properly, because we all know what brand new can really mean from a dealership, right? So the color change is only going to happen in the presence of iron. The rest of the cleaning is going to take effect no matter what. And looking at this car, we've got some issues on here, but especially on a white car that's heavily contaminated, you'll actually see it start to come back brighter white again.
Sure.
You'll see a color change on the car as it cleans that stuff off. You may still need to clay, because there are still some types of contaminants that will bond so tenaciously to the paint that that's the only way you're going to get rid of them. But if you use the wheel and paint Decon first, it's going to make that cleaning process a whole lot easier.
Okay, so after we sprayed it on, say we see the color change effect, then what would the next step be?
Pressure wash it off, or just rinse it off with, nozzle on the hose.
Okay.
That's it. That's simple.
And
rinse it off, and then you can go in and fully wash the car.
Okay.
Clay it if need be, and then go on to whatever other process you want it to do.
Gotcha. Okay, so the normal process would be then spray it onto a car. If it's not too dirty, you spray it on the car. Glass, windshield, sides car, everything?
Just spray it all down.
Okay, then let it do its thing.
Yep,
then
that
blast it off,
everything, so
then do the normal wash.
Yep, exactly.
And that way, your car is absolutely clean.
And you can get in and do the processes to make it sparkle the way you really want it to.
Yeah. This car here, I looked at it before they pulled it in. It actually has road film on it. And road film over time, it impacts on the paint so it doesn't wash off with the normal wash, and it grays the paint or stains it. So by using this product here, that's why you're saying you'll see a brighter white or a brighter whatever color your car is, because you're gonna peel off that road film along with the iron contamination.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, for more information on this product or any of the Meguiars lines, you can always go to Autogeek.com for more videos like these and how to subscribe to our YouTube channel.